Hi there, it's me, Gamer Tyler here, on Twitch and YouTube. And YouTube is Gamer Tyler, Twitch, Gamer Tyler, Twitch. Anyway, another stream, another day. Gonna stream for a bit, and I'm trying to hit get 4,000 watch hours on YouTube, so we can start getting fan funding going on Twitch, on YouTube as well. On Twitch, we just hit our first subscriber. Paid subscriber. Yeah. But they're through Amazon Twitch. So if you do it through Amazon Twitch, it's free, which is super, super great. I'm having it's been a great Sunday so far. Went to church and did went shopping and had lunch. And it's been an okay day. Sheldon, he's so funny. Which I watched the new He-Man movie. Yeah, we were talking about that. I talked about it yesterday. Watched the new He-Man movie. It looks really good. I'm gonna have a movie review of that soon. So tomorrow, I should be live at 5. Was it 5? Should be live at 1. I just have a day program session to go through in the morning. Then I gotta clean the bathroom. Either starting next week or the following week after that. I'm starting to go back there twice a week, so I have family that wants me to go there twice a week. That's not too bad. I mean, I only sit there for like an hour. I never do anything else. I sit there for an hour. I call it touch the grass, just go offline for a bit. At least like once or twice a week. And honestly, I mean, it's okay. But I think everyone else at the day program, they stay all day there. I'm like, I got other things I gotta do in my life. I'm not staying there all day, That's personally me, though. And now I'm checking out MTV Big Bang Theory. Tomorrow I'll probably watch PBS. They're playing Big Bang Theory, which is they're in the later seasons. They're almost done with playing through the whole series. They're on, I think, like the 8th or 9th season. So now on Twitch, my goal is current goal is 20 Twitch subscribers. And like I said before, if you have a Prime account, you can subscribe there for free. And the only problem with that is that you have to renew it at least once a month in order to support me monthly. And it's a way to do it without having to spend. Because gosh, it's like $5. I think it's like $5.99 a month. It's $5.99 a month. I get about so $5.99. I think it's $5.99 a month. But if you have a Prime account, you can get a discount on that. Not a discount, but completely for free. And now Twitch keeps a 30% cut of any revenue I get through their subscriptions. So for every person I get to either join me through actual purchasing of a subscription, or they just subscribe to me just out of the blue, and like do it through through Prime, I get about, I've calculated this, I calculated 30% off of $5.99, so it's about $4.19 a month per donation I get through the subscriptions. I get about, I'm assuming it's about $4.19 a month per subscription. So that's my current goal. That's my current goal on there. Anyway, is basically 20 subscribers. And now I'm gonna say this. So Wednesday, I'm going out to eat with family member or celebrating my grandmother's birthday. So lunch is gonna be around, I think, 11 a.m. And apparently, I talked to my family member, and they said we should be back before 1. I was like, okay, because the time for my stream for this Wednesday. So apparently, my grandmother's dog Cooper, his full name is Sheldon Lee Cooper. He has Sheldon Lee Cooper is actually the character from Big Bang Theory. He's named after a Big Bang Theory character. But we all just calling him Cooper for short. And so I did pick up my new comic books this past Saturday. So that was really cool. Which I actually released a video today of my pickups for the past 2 weeks, because I missed last week's video. I didn't do last week's video, so I did an extra video for this week, and I released that on YouTube. And I'm hoping on getting some watch hours on YouTube to help get that 4,000 watch hours. So I really hope we can hit that. Yeah, so that will be really, really helpful. And basically, everything's been pretty good. I'm not sure what most of talk about somewhat. No, I'm not going to chat just yet. But anyway, recently we've been like getting things moved around the house. Because first off, a few weeks ago, before we were moving stuff around to get, because I was getting a new bed, which I got the new bed. We had to get everything ready because eventually, so there's what happened. So many weeks earlier, my family member got the AC fixed. So apparently, this house that I currently live in, my family lives in too. So apparently, back when my grandfather originally bought this house, before this is before they bought the house. This is like this. So whoever built the house, when they were putting up the AC vents, they didn't put it up correctly, like at all. They didn't put it up at all. And the AC vents are basically, kid you not, they were like letting in hot air. So like, so this past every past summers, except for this summer, whenever we would turn on the oven, it got so hot, like it was like an inferno, and we never knew why. Why was you turn on the oven, not just the oven, but like you would do like the air fryer, an air fryer, people, and it just got so hot from all the heat. And we found out this year, my friend member found out that apparently when they built this house, they didn't build it correctly. And like there's this huge little gap where the crawl space is at. There's a gap right in there, and like it's letting all that hot air. So basically, the whole house is cooling off the when we turn the AC on, it's basically cooling off. All the cool air was going into the crawl space where it was like our what do you call it, attic. Yeah, attic. Basically, it was cooling off the attic. So yeah, that was like, that's why it was all messed up. It was so hot in the summertime. But luckily now we have much cooler. It's much cooler now. But now the reason I'm moving stuff around now is they got that all fixed up. But they have to clean out all the vents, so they have to go. So I have to make sure all my stuff is moved around my bedroom. My family members' all my family members' bedrooms. We have a total of 3 bedrooms, and make sure that they're able to get into like the entire house. That's just clean one area. We're gonna be having to clean the entire house's vents because of all the dust particles. And another thing is, I had another family member, not somebody else I live with, but they're like, I was wondering why we had to keep changing out the air filter. So they never understood why. Why does it get so filthy? It was like 6 months, and it wasn't a year later, but it was all filthy. And they're like, that explains that. We're like, why is it? It's already finished. I just put that in there, and they never understood. We never understood why until that happened, and that made so much sense. He realized that makes so much sense because like the air filter had to be changed out like every 6 months. Not understanding that there's something wrong with the vents. Yeah, ads. But That's what's been going on. So we have to get a lot of stuff moved around. Eventually, get the outfit situated so you can start cleaning the beds. It's not charging. Okay, come on. Let me see this. Let's see. Come on. There we go. Hopefully that charges it. Hopefully that fixes it. It was all 20% power left. I was like, yeah, I had such issues this morning with my phone. Like, I woke up and my phone was at like I think like 12%. I was like, luckily I wasn't doing anything I needed my phone for. I was just watching TV at like 4 a.m. I woke up at 4 to get some TV watching going. And then, so I woke up, right? And I'm like, I made myself a coffee. And then I come back to my bedroom to watch some TV on Tubi, not Tubi, on the TV, the web TV thing from DirecTV. Yeah, DirecTV stream, couldn't think of the name. Anyway, so that's one thing that happened, and then I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to stream. So like earlier, I was charging my iPad, had my iPad plugged in and everything. So for whatever reason, the first time I noticed that when I got home from church, that my iPad was like not charging. Wasn't charging. It was completely dead. I was like, what in the world? So and then I noticed it was basically unplugged. So I go ahead and plug it back in. Now I didn't pay attention. So apparently, I don't know how this happened. Another thing happened. So I have a power strip, and apparently the power strip that the chargers were on, it was completely turned off. I was like, what? So I was trying to charge my phone at the same time, and I was like, why is this not charging? None of my stuff was charging. It took me a while to realize that somehow the power got turned off, and I didn't notice until way after. I didn't even notice when I looked to notice that the power strip, was unplugged from my devices, and I didn't notice until way after. And I was like, what? I couldn't take it. I just hated how that happened. So, so one thing I would say about going to a day program, it's not too bad. I just want to say this little thing. You can comment what you want on YouTube later on or whatever. Follow me on Twitch and subscribe to me on YouTube. Anyway, so my new day program, they both have their ups and downs. One of the ups about going to the new day program is that I can leave whenever. Like, I don't have to call in a ride just to leave from there. The old day program, which I stated this in a video in the past of why I think it started off like that. I don't know. Like, I think they're having money problems. Like, I actually had a friend who stated that my ex day program, they literally had money problems, I think. Which, you know what? It might have been the case. I have no idea, to be honest. To be 100% honest, I have no idea why. Because like, one reason I don't go there anymore is because they got shut down. And then I got shut down because of, like, budget cuts. That's what I was told by a staff member. And they said, it's because of budget cuts. And I was like, okay, something's going on, you know. Well, what's going on? Anyway, when I used to go there, I would, one thing I did like about them was they had these little job program style things. Really, like, the other thing is I had to stay there until at least 12 p.m. Which, and I mean, that was the most part. I stayed there for 2 p.m. But, like, one of the problems was that they paid minimum wage, which was at the time was $14.70 an hour, or $14.75 an hour. I don't remember. It was 2024. No, wait, 2025. Yeah, 2025. 2025. Yeah, it paid about $14.70 an hour, and I kid you not, it was really good. It was pretty nice. One of the major problems was, like, they actually, like, I remember this one time. This is another story I have from my day program. That's why I like it or not like it. So there's this other guy that I worked with at where now my main job there, I had a little more of a job, more like a kind of like side income kind of deal thing. Now he actually went to school for himself, and so he did the day program, and he worked on their videos. Now his thing was like he worked really hard. I mean, I mostly worked on scripts, and a lot of times he's like, we never really used their scripts. It was like, what's the point of making scripts? I was like, I don't know. Anyway, so there's this one day. So he did all the editing. Okay, just my picture for you guys. So he did all the editing. There's this one time. It happened one time. So before 2025, so they were in this one location. They moved to like this new location in 2025. Probably I think it was February 2025. Also, same year they closed down too. Kind of sad, but yeah. Anyway, so they moved to a bigger location, and there's this other guy that would that would come by. He would come by, you know. He'd work with us too. There was all three of us. Me, these two other guys that would work on the videos. Anyway, so 2025, so the year prior, November, when I first started, to like December, I would work whenever they would show up. I would work with them. And we worked, did our thing, left, and, you know, like, pulled our papers, and got paid, okay? Now, February 2026 is when it, no wait, February 2025, November 2024 is when, yeah, 2024, yeah, February 2025, when we first moved into the new building, they set up this new rule that was strictly for this new thing for our me and this other guy's jobs. So I could not work unless the staff member was with us, and I was like, why did they make it do this now? It makes it so harder because like we were hardly getting things done because like sometimes they would split them up to their west side facilities. We were east side. Okay, anyway, so they put them to the all the way up in Phoenix somewhere. And we weren't. Wasn't in Phoenix or anything, but so they moved him. There's other staff members there, and there was times like that's happened, or like they'd be low staffed. It got to the point where I couldn't work. Anyway, one day, I have two stories to this story I want to talk about. But anyway, so one day. Oh, I told you there was 3 guys. One of the other guys, before we moved to the new program's facility, because they closed the other one down, moved to like something else. What they did with it, I don't know. But when we moved to the new building, he didn't come back, and the guy that did the editing, he asked me, "Do you know what happened?" Because he knew what happened. I was like, I don't know what happened. He goes, he lost it. He absolutely lost his mind. I was like, what? So we had our boss. Now this was also the boss of the facility as well. So we work on the videos and stuff. So he was more or less the boss, our boss, pretty much. He flipped out on him, like screamed at him or something, and like just lost it. I'm not gonna go deal. I know exactly what happened, but yeah, he never showed up again. Now remember this. Is just 2 of us. I don't work on any. I don't do any of the ending. I just work on scripts. Okay, that's all I do. I mean, I did some filming and stuff, somewhat, but I mostly did editing. I mean, not editing. I mostly did script writing. One day, we're in the back with where we do all the editing and stuff for the videos, work on my scripts and stuff. I wasn't working on my scripts at the time. Now the other guy, he was the guy that does editing. He was editing a video. This other woman who's part of the facility, she comes back, right, and she's like, she just basically chews us out for not pumping out videos, you know. And the other guy, he knows more about editing. He goes, why aren't they being shown up online then? I'm like, she was like, just chooses out, not even understanding how much time goes into editing. Like, I'm like, okay, I was pissed off at this point. I'm like, okay, we have one editor, and you're pumping out. It wasn't like one video he's pumping them out. I mean, oh my god, like I swear to you, they had him editing like 4 videos at one time. Like he was like. I kid you not, like, and like, it takes something to finish it. If you want something good, or you want it bad, you know, it depends on how much time you want to put into editing, you know. And she like just like straight up chews us out for not pumping out videos. And oh my gosh, my phone's not charging correctly. Now it's at 10%, 9%. Oy. Okay. Let's see, let me figure this out. That seems to be plugged in. I don't know what's causing it. Let me check this. It's not charging. I'm gonna have to get a new charger. There it goes. Now it's charging. Okay. Okay, so she basically shoots us out. Now, you know how I told you about how we basically needed this other stuff with us. So the guy that does editing, he actually explained why we need that, and it's a really funny story. I absolutely just I can't believe this. Okay, here goes. The guy I told you that flipped out. Okay. Before I was coming there, so he worked with the other guy that did the editing for years. He also did some editing too. He did filming and editing. He also did some of his own videos. But here's the thing. So he told me that sometimes when they were supposed to be editing or working on videos, in the back basically, well, nobody was paying attention to him because this is. Let me explain this. Okay, so in the far back, we used to be in this back room. Not real room, but area. It didn't have its own dedicated area. We went to the new program and had the new building had its own dedicated room that we edited in. Anyway, so they didn't have their own Pacific room before. Then they did, but so we go in the back, and here's the thing: is the only time that people ever went back there, the area, was for snack time. Because that was also where they would sell snacks and stuff. Anyway, he would play video games when he was supposed to be working. He was clocked in for work. He would sit on his butt, not actually do any work. He would just actually, because they couldn't monitor. They weren't monitoring what they were doing. I guess somehow he got caught. I'm assuming. I don't know. I don't remember he said he got caught or anything. But he says that he thinks that's the main reason why they wanted, was mostly because of him. Because he would basically, when he's supposed to be working, he was clocked into work. He would just goof off and play video games. When he's supposed to be like editing videos, writing scripts. He also worked on writing scripts. And yeah, and like it was just yeah, but yeah, yeah. But yeah. That's basically that happened. And I was like, wait, what? He goes, yeah. He would just play video games when he was supposed to be working. I was like, here's the thing is, he said he was collecting a paycheck too. Basically, he got paid illegally. Not illegally, but not rightfully collecting a paycheck for stuff he didn't even do. I don't remember exactly all the details he told me, but yeah, he told me that he would be on on whatever thing he was doing, playing a video game. I was like, wow, that's really wild, At least that's what he told me. And if you're interested, I might actually say the story about why I started not going there, but doing the program, the little income thing. Yeah, I have a little more stories from that adventure, that little adventure I had between. Gosh, it was like. Well, a few years actually. But yeah, it was okay. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. The new rating program is decent, where I can leave whenever I want. Like, talking about the thing about with the day program. So it started off. Now, when I first went to the day program, like several years ago, the first one, they used to make this thing where you could leave basically anytime you wanted to. Whenever you wanted to, you could leave. So it was. I really liked that. I had a friend. He also really liked that too. That you could just leave whenever. That's what he liked about the day program to begin with. That you could leave whenever you wanted to. Because that's what the preference was. That you could leave whenever you wanted to. And it was somewhere around 2025, maybe? I think it was around beginning of 2025. I don't remember when it was exactly. I think it was 2025. They started making this new rule that you had to stay until 1:30 p.m. every day. Every day that you went there, you know. And I was like, for people that did not dispatch their own rides, I was like, it really sucks. And the thing is, they won't only dispatch your ride for emergencies. If it had an emergency, they would dispatch a ride for you. And if you didn't have an emergency, or you didn't have a class, you had to stay there. You had to stay there all day. Like they wouldn't let you go. Like I'm not even, like it's supposed to be a will call. Like you leave when you want to leave, but they're like basically holding you hostage. Like that was like it pretty much was, because they were strictly said that you weren't allowed to leave when you wanted to leave. You can only leave if that's how my old big program was. And like they made it to the point where, let's say that you got there at like 8, right? You stay there until 9. You want to leave, okay? You stay there for 9 for a class you want to take part in. Well, guess what? That's not how that works. There you have let's say that aside of my friend were calling my rides, the dispatch my rides for me because they refused, they weren't allowing to dispatch your rides. You know, if I remember, was like, she was like, if I remember her mom, she was like, she'd chill out. She did it for me, but I was like, told her they don't allow me to dispatch my own rides, and they let me leave. Basically, they let me leave if my ride shows up, but they can't forcibly make me stay. But they pretty much were. So the people that were really mentally handicapped, who basically relied on them to dispatch their rides, they're pretty much screwed. You know, I mean, they're pretty much screwed because you're not able to dispatch your own ride, and you can't. They weren't allowing you to dispatch your rides. The new day program is really cool. I mean, I get there around 7:50ish. I stay there until 9, and then I leave. I come home, and I do my chores. You know, I do my chores, watch the TV. Then I can hop into a stream and stuff. The all-day program was like completely opposite. That's the thing I like about the new day program. Now, here's the thing about the day program I do miss. So I gotta talk about the money making, it's just $15 an hour now. If there's some business, that's what I miss. I miss that, to be honest, because it was really cool. Just going into a stream. I'm not a stream. Going in there, working a bit, and then come home, work on videos, and stuff. The new program doesn't have any of those objects. You don't have any programs where you can work for actual money. And now this is the thing about the old day program. I hardly ever ate at their lunch that they made. I think the only time I ever ate the lunch that was prepared for me was one time when this one guy ordered pizza. I decided to eat the food anyway. Anyway, so they don't have any job programs, I think I was gonna say, but I mean it's a lot better for other things. Like, I can leave whenever I want to leave. I don't have to stay there until 12 p.m. The other one, I had to stay there until. And they give you the all-day program. So I remember the last month I stayed there before I found out they shut down. It was October. It was the beginning of October. I was doing my Scooptober stuff for YouTube. So of course that involves me watching the Scooptober stuff. I kid you not, I got this woman who worked at the day program. She goes, "Tyler, you only stay for an hour?" She didn't say you should stay longer, or they're you just stay for an hour. I was like, I didn't want to say I got work to do. I was like, I didn't want to tell them it's my personal business, But they're like, I'll be honest. And by the way, the Scooptober stuff is actually the reason why I got reprimanded. My all day reprimanded me. So actually, I'm going to talk about it now. Okay. So it's 2024 Scooptober in October, okay, of 2024. So I watched all the Scooptober stuff all month long. I'm ditching at. So I get there at like I think 7-ish. Okay, I get there around 7-ish, and I ditch at I leave I go there for an hour. I leave at 9. I left. And I kid you not. And so later on, I kind of I got reprimanded. It's more of the fact that like they really kind of chewed me out somewhat. They're like, they talked to my mom. They're like, you know, he really seems to be ditching early. My mom's like, see, I told you you're leaving too early. I was like, Scooptober starts at like, I think the Scooptober stuff. Which I think, I'm not sure how I'm going to do this year's Scooptober. Because this is, now, each year I did Scooptober Versus. Like the first year I did it, which was, when was that? 2023? No, wait, 2022 I think. Let's see, there was Scooptober Versus Freeform's 31 Days of Disney. Okay, that's the first one I did. The second one I did was Scooptober versus Disney Channel. The third one I did was Scooptober versus Nick Halloween. That's the past one I just did. Which 31 at Disney, the 31 Nights of Fright from Freeform isn't as good as it used to be, I think, in my honest opinion. The movies are like, they're okay. Anyway, now the fourth one is the one I've been planning on doing, and I'm like, I want to do it, but it's so hard to do this. I want to do it every day. And I mean, I think about redoing it, but this one is like the biggest one that I've ever done. This is like the biggest one I've ever done. And one thing I've been thinking about doing it's Scooptober versus Cartoon Network. It's like Scooptober Boomerang versus Scooptober Cartoon Network. Obviously, Boomerang's going to be superior, but I just want to watch it just to have fun. I'm thinking about doing them as posts instead of videos now. But the Scooptober versus Scooptober Boomerang versus Scooptober Cartoon Network is going to be really hard to do, because one of many reasons. So I'm going to do it probably once a week at least. Okay. Here's the problem about doing it, you know, that in October, is I might have to miss all the Mondays of Scooptober, except for, I mean, for most part, at least in the mornings at least. Another thing about doing Scooptober is that Scooptober, it really interrupts my movie watching for new movies for theaters. For the most part, I might have to watch movies on Saturdays maybe. I don't know how that's gonna work. Because Scooptober is also gonna be on Boomerang and Cartoon Network, so I don't know how that's gonna work. But yeah, I want to try. I want to at least try this Scooptober versus Boomerang. Scooptober Boomerang versus Scooptober Cartoon Network. I think it would be honestly a really, really good video. But yeah. And I honestly think it'd be a really good video to do. Not video, but post. And post about each day what I watched. And I mean, they let me to chat. I don't know. Maybe I missed like one Scooptober in the beginning of the month and end of the month. We'll have to see how it goes. Basket weaving, ha 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 ha. Amy's like, Amy and Penny's like, you named it. I don't wear shoes that might squeak. Is that true? I love Big Bang Theory. It's like my favorite TV show. He's like, it's exhausting. Exit peripheral vision. Sean, I'm sorry. I'm holding a lot of this in. Don't hold it too long. You have constipation. Okay, that's you guys my own joke right there. Sorry. There's a strong moment between friends. You know what? Sometimes change is good. Like, I've actually did some changes in my own life. Like, there's this thing that I think it's next week. I think it's either next week or a week after. I have men's Bible study to go to, called Men's Breakfast, and it's really good, to be honest. The favorite part isn't the word or Bible stuff. It's the burritos. They're pretty good. Breakfast burritos. Can't go wrong with that. Let me see the calendar. Let's see. Oh, wait. It's next week. Oh, you know what? I can't go. I swear they can't go. I'm watching Toy Story 3. Toy Story 5 that day. It's a special showing. So, oh, that's 2 weeks. That's 2 months in a row I wasn't able to go. I just realized that. The thing, let me see. This is the second week. Yeah, it's always the third week. I think it's always the third week. Special Toy Story 5 showing. this oh man. I love how Raj just belittles him, screams at him. He sits there and doesn't say a word, just looks up what the heck? What the heck? He's what the heck? The heck's wrong with you? They act so nice. But if people look at him what the hell is wrong with this guy? That's what it looks like. It looks like he's looks at him what the heck is wrong with you? Sheldon. Very nice. And sure, he's I saw that. The Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore. A Disney ad. You know what? Disneyland is losing to Universal. But one key problem. Look at Universal. So I love Disney so much, okay? But Universal has not only doesn't just have one character. They have Harry Potter. They have the license to Harry Potter, okay? Alright, they had it for decades. Here's the thing about Harry Potter. Harry Potter versus and that stuff, Mickey Mouse and stuff. They're such iconic, but Harry Potter is huge brand. Next, Universal had just acquired the rights to Nintendo's characters of their theme parks. If you think about that, most kids nowadays play a lot of Nintendo games. They have for decades. They have decades worth of fans from since 1985. 85, 90. 20, 80, 90, 10, 20. So basically, like 35 years worth of fandom. Sure, might have Mickey Mouse and stuff, but Nintendo's got the IP powers that a lot of kids are into. And then also they have attractions with Minions, because the Universal owns Illumination. And guess what? Illumination is also the same company that is owned by Universal and that made the Minions movies. And guess what else they made? They also made the Mario movies. So you have the powerhouse of Universal backing Universal Studios, obviously, but I'm just thinking, I see Disney stuff, right? And I'm like, I don't think they're gonna. Oh, it's only 2 p.m. Okay. I don't think they're gonna last as big as most of these other streaming. Like, Disney's gonna just. Disney needs to adapt into this new age. That's all I gotta say about that. Thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Help me get 1,000 plus subscribers. Watching videos fully helps increase the watch hours to 4,000 plus. And be sure to send donations on the Patreon page, the Ko-Fi page, and right here on Twitch by subscribing on becoming a paid subscriber or a Prime exclusive subscriber for free. That's right, free. It's included one time. You have to renew every month, but you help out fund my videos. Have a great rest of your day. Bye for now. Bye.